In case you're wondering, I'm playing local video. That's how you see me and a countdown timer at the same time. This is the first time I've done this, and I am streaming music into the stream as well. So that's how I'm doing this right now. What's up? Okay, so that was a new thing I was trying. So you can now, this is totally off the cuff, by the way, very random stream. I'm gonna try to figure a couple things out that a lot of people have been asking me to figure out, and that is how to deal with some audio issues when you have multiple cameras that you're pulling into StreamYard. So I'm streaming with StreamYard, which is an amazing tool that I love to use for all my streaming. And what I love about it is it's browser based. It's very easy. It's very plug and play. You just click, 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 click. But like, it has limitations. However, you can really stretch this tool if you get creative. So for example, one of the things that a lot of streamers are seeing right now are these countdown timers, but they, with StreamYard right now, you play your countdown timer and you're off screen. So normally you upload your video. I'll show you your countdown timer, and it basically starts out like this. But the problem with that, well, not necessarily a problem, it's actually a good thing. If depending on the kind of show you want to create, some people want to be seen. They want to be on the screen while the countdown's kind of going on, because it's a little bit more engaging, because people can see that you're actually there, you're getting ready for the stream. This is actually something I want to do. My friends over at Live Streaming Pros, Luria Petrucci, they actually do this. They do a transparent countdown timer. They sell these countdown timer files. However, for that transparent style file, you have to use a different system. StreamYard doesn't support that alpha channel type of video. So like Ecamm, OBS, vMix, all those will support it. So like Kirk Nugent, he does it too, but he uses one of their timers, but he uses StreamYard, but he also uses it in conjunction with another tool. So if you're just using StreamYard, you can't do that. But the workaround, now that StreamYard allows you to play local video, is that you can share, when you go to click share, instead of sharing your screen, it now gives you an option to share a video file. And so I thought today, like, well, I could share just a countdown and have me on screen. So that's what you guys saw. So if I go ahead and add it again, so there's this view. It's the same as our screen share view. You have that view, or you can go all in and you can be on screen while the countdown's happening. Now I just have this really boring basic clock, right? And that's what I'm doing. There's a couple of other really cool ways you could use this. If you wanted to do like a challenge and you were like, all right, I'm going to give myself 3 minutes to figure this out. Or, all right, rapid fire, we have 3 minutes. We're going to do a Q&A. We have 3 minutes. Here we go. Set the clock. And you could have a 3-minute countdown video. You play it locally and you are still on screen. And so that is super, super, super cool. So there's a lot of creative ways you can use this local video that I'm excited about. But that was kind of what I was trying out today. But I wanted to also, I still have my "We'll Get Started Soon" banner going. Whatever. It's off the cuff, you guys. I literally was like, I'm just going to figure this out. I was like, I'll just go live while I figure it out. So sometimes I like to do that. So if you're here, say hello. I want to know who's here. So I see I've got some people watching live with me. Say hi. I just want to see who's watching. But what I'm going to be trying to figure out today is actually not this whole countdown timer thing. I'm going to continue to play around with some really fun ways to use that. Probably create some content for it soon for StreamYard on that. However, so here's what I'm trying to figure out today. So one of the really, really cool things you can do is you can actually play, hello AA rated. You can actually play or have multiple cameras in your stream without hardware. So a lot of times you have to have a hardware interface to have different cameras feeding in, like the A10 Mini is one that is really popular. However, there's a way you can do it in StreamYard that is actually super easy. And I actually made a video about this. It's on my channel, and it's how to use multiple cameras in StreamYard without extra hardware, right? All you need is more than one camera plugged into your computer, one computer. So I'm using a PC. This would work for a Mac as well, as long as you have enough inputs. So I actually have 3 cameras currently hooked into my PC. So this is really, really cool if you want to do like a behind the scenes camera, or if you're doing a cooking show and you want to have a camera like up above you, but you also want to be able to talk to the audience. You could actually plug in more than one camera and have these different scenes. This is, I think, a really great idea for artists as well, who want to talk to their audience, but then also maybe they need a shot that's close up on their hands, right? Showing what they're doing. And so that's actually one of the really cool things that you can do with this. So all you have to do, I have a video where I show how to do it. However, there's a lot of questions and a lot of comments about the audio issues. So what happens is when you add this extra camera, you're basically just you're in StreamYard, you're in your dashboard, and you're streaming. And then you simply open up another Chrome tab, or Safari if you're using a Mac. You simply open up another browser and you go into StreamYard and you enter that studio again, and you just select a different camera when you enter the studio. And when you do that, you are going to see 2 cameras backstage, and you can toggle between them just like you do when you have guests that join your stream. But one of the issues is that when that second camera joins, it's also going to hear the stream. So there's going to be the audio from the stream coming through. So you have to find a way to mute the speaker, if you will. So we're going to kind of play around. There's a few different scenarios about how this all works. Ideally is that so these webcams, right? They have some of these cameras microphones have headphone jacks. Like my Elgato Wave 3 is the microphone I'm using today. It has a headphone jack. I also have a Blue Yeti hooked into my computer. It has a headphone jack. So these can be speakers. I can select these as speakers. And because I don't have the headphones plugged into the other mic, I just select that speaker, and then I don't get this echo issue. So I know it's kind of confusing. It's actually, I feel like I need to come up with a way to chart this, to explain this to people, but it is one of the things that people are asking me about. So I wanted to kind of jump in and talk about it. So first I'll show you what I'm talking about. I will show you what it looks like for you. So I'm going to open up another browser window, go to StreamYard. I'm going to enter a studio that I'm in right now. We're only streaming on YouTube right now because this is where my video is and this is where I'm getting the question. Right, so I'm entering the studio. I'm also watching the stream on the other my other screen, and I'll be sharing that with you in a second about why I'm doing that. Okay, so I am entering the studio. Let me see if I can actually I'm gonna screen 1, Chrome tab. Yeah, I'm gonna actually try to do this so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm entering the studio right now. So here I am. I'm in a second tab. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so I'm in a second tab. I'm just gonna enter in as behind the scenes. That's what I'm going to name this one, right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself because I don't want any audio coming from this behind the scenes camera because of the way I'm going to be using it. If I were to actually allow there to be audio coming from this camera, it would feed audio into the stream. We don't want that because it's just a behind the scenes camera. I'm never going to leave the stream from the main view. Now, again, if you want to be toggling back and forth, then I believe that I have seen people test this where they actually select the same microphone and it does not cause a problem. But if it is causing a problem, then you are going to have to mute this microphone. The other thing you could do is you could actually turn the microphone all the way down. This is in beta, so this may not be, this may not work fully because it is in beta. It's something that is not fully fleshed out. It could potentially have some bugs with it. So again, I don't know that that's going to be reliable. But here's where the real trick is the speaker. The speaker, you need to select a speaker that is either, okay, so I actually have speakers. I have a lot of speakers. Don't get overwhelmed. So my headphones, I'm using Wavelink. So you see all these things. Don't worry about that. Most likely what you're going to see is like communications. And then you're going to probably see this Acer is actually my monitor where I actually have my computer speakers plugged. The audio out is coming from there. So if I selected this right here, and then I turned down my speaker, I actually have a switch on it and I can turn it down. It also has a headphone jack. So another option is that you could literally take a set of cheap headphones, like really, really cheap ones. I think these were literally $3. Let me change my view super fast. These right here. You could take these and you could literally snip this right here. And then you basically have dummy headphones. And you could plug this into the headphone jack and that would also mute the speaker. And I mean, because if you plug those headphones in, you're actually going to still hear audio from them. Or I could turn my speaker down, but it just depends on the kind of system you have and what you have. But that is one of the ways you could do it is you could actually cut off, literally go to your drugstore and buy a $3, $5 pair of headphones, cut this off right here, and then use this as your speaker plug. Consider it a speaker plug. That's what we're going to call it. I made that up right now on the spot. So if you do that, then when we go back to here, if I select that speaker and I have a headphone plug into it, or I turn the volume down on the actual speaker box, then I am not going to hear the stream. But let's go ahead and do this as if, actually, this won't do it because of the system I particularly have. I'm gonna have to do I'm experimenting with this because I want to do a demo video for this, and I'm gonna have to do that on my other computer that does not have my Wavelink audio system all set up on it. So that's what we're gonna pick. We're gonna pick this, and we're gonna mute our speaker. I have it turned down all the way, right? And now we're gonna go to camera, and I'm gonna select my behind the scenes camera. Hey. And we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the broadcast. And so as you see down here, I have entered the stream. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I don't need it. Oops, remove. I guess I can't actually remove it. Oh, because I'm in the wrong one. So this is me joining. It's almost like the same as a guest, except I can see everything else backstage. But this is the only thing I can control. I can't actually do much of anything else. But if I go back to my original hosting one, which is what you see here, then, oops, I didn't add it to the stream. I apologize, you guys. Let me do this again so you can see what the hell I'm doing here. All right. So let's try this again. I wanted to show you what this looked like. I forgot to share my screen. So this is what it looks like as this second camera, this is my view. I'm right here, okay? I am right here. I can still control things, but I can't necessarily make the same kind of edits. Like I can't remove these from everything. So this is me. This is my back behind the scenes camera. I can actually control and add it, but right here is my main hosted site. So again, I'm going to mute this camera. I'm going to mute it because the microphone I have selected, I don't want to bring in any audio from this behind the scenes camera. I simply just want to add it to my stream. So let me go back to my main. I'm going to remove that screen share. And now I'm going to add my behind the scenes camera. So now I'm in the stream. You should not hear an echo, and because there's no audio coming from this second behind the scenes camera because I have it muted. And then also the speaker, because remember, because I'm in the browser, I have another browser open, I would be hearing the stream. And sometimes that's why we get that audio feedback when we do this trick, is because we're hearing it through our speakers. A lot of times people are doing this and they have their speakers. You need to mute that. You need to somehow either select a speaker that does not have any audio coming out. Like if you have a second microphone, like a Yeti or something hooked up, select that and just make sure there's nothing, there's no sound coming out of it. It's just a microphone unless you have your headphones plugged into it. So you should be hearing, I'm cleaning up my studio here. You should be hearing just me, meaning me. And now I can change my view as well. I can also switch the view if I wanted to, but you should just be hearing me, meaning right here, not the behind the scenes camera. So let me show you how I'm going to be checking this, how I monitor this stuff when I do live testing. So I'm going to share my second screen. So what you see over here, all right, what you see here is my screen. This is my second screen, my second monitor. Right here I have my Wavelink system, which is just my audio kind of like fake. It's a software mixer that came with this Elgato Wave 3 microphone. And then over here you see I actually have my YouTube stream pulled up so that I can see and check and monitor. But I have it muted right now. So I right here can control whether or not this browser you see here, that audio from it, I can control right here. If I wanted to turn this down right here, you won't hear anything from this particular browser. But if I turn this back up, you would hear it. Don't get too hung up on this. This is applicable to people who have mixers or are using this software. But I'm going to go ahead and let you hear what I hear when I do this test. So I'm actually going to unmute this. You don't hear anything yet because I have it muted over here. Now, once I click unmute, you're actually going to hear this. Now, this is the actual live stream, which is delayed from when I'm real time talking. So what I'm watching is delayed. That's how live streaming works, but it lets us check things in the real time. So I'm going to do that right now. Real time talking. So what I'm watching is delayed. That's how live streaming works, but it lets us check things in the real time. So I'm going to do that right now. Real time talking. Okay, very cool. So it definitely is working. It's live, and I can tell that the music is sounding okay. And I know that there's no feedback, there's no echo because I muted the microphone for the behind the scenes camera, and I'm using a speaker that is muted. So I'm using a speaker that is muted. So this is key. This is really important. So if you're wanting to use two cameras like this and you're getting this issue, if you're not having guests on or you don't need to hear anything at all from your computer, then just turn all your volume down everywhere. You don't need to have any volume on at all. And if you do that and you mute the microphone for the behind the scenes camera, you won't have any issues. Now, I actually want to do a test, and I want to test having the audio for the behind the scenes camera be the same microphone that I'm using right now. Now, the other thing that people also talk about really quick is a delay. So there's no delay for me today. So what a delay means is that, so if you see here, I'm moving my hand up and down, right? And you notice that with my behind the scenes camera, it's actually moving at the same time. What sometimes does happen is there will be a delay on your second camera. So I would raise my hand, and then the behind the scenes camera, it would take a second before the hand raises on that camera. That is probably an internet strength issue or a CPU like RAM and processing, power issue. So if you're having that delay, it could be that. It also could be the camera and the cable. Like if you're using a really cheap camera with a really cheap cable, it may be running slower. So if for example, if one of your cameras is plugged into a USB 3 and the other one's plugged into a slow USB 2 or whatever, that could also delay your signal. So that could be the problem as well. So I wanted to kind of like experiment with this and see. But as you all can see, there's no delay for my camera right now, which is great. Now let's check our audio. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to make sure my audio, the microphone is the Wave 3 microphone. Yes. We are good. I'm just curious if I think I just don't have a lot of faith that there's not going to be a problem if I turn this microphone on. I think you're going to hear something funky. I think that we're going to hear a bit of a dual audio coming in or an echo as well. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute my microphone right now. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to listen. I'm going to talk. I'm going to unmute. I'm going to talk. And then I'm going to go over here and listen as well. So, oh, okay. Hold on. All right. So we are unmuted as the behind the scenes camera. I hear an echo in my head, and I'm not totally sure why. It's because I have the browser on. I'm going to go ahead and try it now. I'm still hearing an echo in my head. So I'm guessing that you're hearing an echo. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to listen over on the browser. Saying that you're hearing an echo. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to listen over on the browser. Yeah, so all right, now I'm muted. Uh-oh, what just happened? Behind the scenes is muted. I'm not muted here. But I lost my music in my ears. Oh, no, I didn't. We're good. Okay, so yeah, we should be good to go now. I'm going to check it. But I lost my music in my ears. Oh, no, I didn't. We're good. Okay, so we're good to go. We're in good shape. So, yes, so we definitely have confirmed that we need to, even if I have the same microphone selected, we need to mute that microphone. Because it's going to make you sound like you're in outer space or whatever, So, yeah. So AA rated, is the Wave 3 better than the Blue Yeti? You know what? I'm still not sure. So I have, I don't know AA rated how long you've been hanging out with me, but I bought the Wave 3 the same day I bought the Shure MV7. Yeah, is that right? Is that what it's called? The USB one. And I kind of played with both of them, and I'm taking the Shure back. It's boxed up, it's ready to go, because I don't want to use an XLR mic right now. Well, and I bought that mic to test the USB, and it just was not loud enough. It sounded great, but I literally had to be like up in the microphone. Like I had to be up in the microphone. I have used a Blue Yeti in the past, so all my old streams prior to honestly, prior to about a week ago, are all Blue Yeti. That's what you hear. However, what you hear is the black Blue Yeti, which is, from what I have recently learned through Doc Rock, is that it's probably a cheaper version of the Blue Yeti, because Logitech bought Blue in 2018. And ever since Logitech bought Blue, they basically cheapened the microphones. And so even though they cost the same price and all that, they cheapened them up. I have an old Yeti microphone that's the silver one that I bought in 2015. And I actually have thought to myself before, man, I kind of feel like that one has better sound. And so now I'm actually wondering, did I get this cheapened version, this black one? But I like how the black looks in my streams. But I'm actually getting ready I'm going to pull both of the Blue Yetis out. I'm going to do like a sound check, a comparison to see if they are different. But to answer your question, I feel like the Elgato Wave 3 sounds a lot like the Blue Yeti. I feel like I went back and did some comparisons yesterday, actually. I was listening to some old streams, and I personally don't think that there's a big difference. I felt like it I just feel like they sound the same. But what's really cool about the Wave 3 is it comes with this software, which essentially acts as a software version of an audio mixer, which is how I'm able to play music. So I have Harris Heller playing over here on Spotify, right? I'm playing Stream Beats, and I can stream that music to you guys. I mean, that is one of the reasons that I love this microphone, is because of the software that it came with. It definitely took it's a learning curve. I had to play. It was very frustrating at first. I had to kind of figure some things out. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, but now I think I've got it figured out. So yeah, if you got yours a year ago, your Blue Yeti, then most likely you also have the cheapened version. The Blue Yeti gets a bad rap. Like, I have found that microphone has been great for me. It's easy to use. I have found that it actually does well, but it also depends on your voice patterns. So it sounds okay for me. Hey, Crafts with Violet, you changed your name. I haven't seen you for a while. So I find the Blue Yeti works great. Again, that's not what I'm using right now. I'm using the Elgato, which you can see, here. Oops, hold on. Remove that. You can see here that's what it looks like. So I'll move my phone. This is what it looks like. It's got a pop filter that I bought, and it's got a shock mount, and then I've just got it on my super duper cheap. I actually hate this thing. It's like $20. It's a $20 boom arm. It's really cheap. It's got springs, so it makes noise. But this microphone is actually, Elgato partnered with Lewitt, and Lewitt makes great microphones. So I personally am a fan of the mic, but again, it's not like mind blowing, but it for $150, you get this, and when you get the pop filter and the shock mount, you're about $200 in. But you also get this software that is, quite frankly, amazing. Like, it's badass. I love it. I mean, I can play this music. That's how I was able to do the whole like countdown thing in the beginning, but still have music. Like, I mean, there's a lot you can do. So if you're wanting to do those types of things, this is kind of a nice low barrier of entry way to get into it. You could also use multiple microphones with it. You can actually add other microphones to the software too. So, but yeah, I love it. But the Blue Yetis, I mean, you could sell it, right? If you wanted to get the Elgato Wave 3, you could sell your Blue Yeti, of course. But I mean, I have too many damn microphones. I have 2 Blue Yetis. I have a Yeti Nano. I have the Elgato Wave 3. I think that's it. I may have one more somewhere. I forget. And then I have that Shure, the $250 microphone in my car that is going to be returned. So yeah, that's what's going on. But today, I just wanted to show this whole behind the scenes camera thing and show how cool it is. So Violet, you do crafts, you do stuff. You could have 2 cameras. So Violet, go back and watch this replay. I will also add a link to the original video I did in the description. But today I kind of wanted to come on, play around with the audio settings, because what happens for people is they get echo and they get feedback. And that's because they're not muting the second mic, and there's audio feeding into that second camera feed through the speakers. And so you have to mute your speakers. And so I was kind of like wanted to experiment a little bit, test that. I am going to create a more structured video to go through this so that people have it, because that video I have where I show how to do the multiple cameras is very popular. People, I mean, I think almost every other day I get a comment on it. However, there are a lot of people that are like, I'm having these audio issues. What do I do? So I wanted to make a follow-up video that I'm going to be working on so that they can figure out how to eliminate those audio issues. So, all right, well, I am going to hop off here because I've got a meeting coming up, and this was super fun and super random. I wanted to pop in and do it. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. AA rated. For sure you were here pretty much the whole time. So, and then Crafts with Violet. It's good seeing you again, sister. So hopefully you guys, I go live every Tuesday at 2 Eastern time. So put that in your calendar and hang out with us. Subscribe and or subscribe and click the bell so you get those notifications when I do random ones like this. Right? Because I do like to go live randomly and play with new things and try things out. So, all right, I'm going to go, I'm going to get out of here. This was fun. I'm glad I got this figured out, but stay tuned. I'm going to make a follow-up video on all this so that we use the multiple cameras and get the audio stuff all figured out. So, all right, y'all, I'll see you later. Till next time. Bye-bye.